And here it is, the video that I did not want to make. Now that most of us have finished watching Season 2 of The Black, we have to ask ourselves that horrible question, is this the end? Is it the end of The Black? Is it the end of Pacific Rim? But if not, and I don't like being overly negative about these things, where does it go from here? Let's get into it. So going all the way back to 2013, the original Pacific Rim was a welcome surprise for many because it was an original property. It wasn't based on a comic book, it wasn't based on any kind of existing franchise, it was just a love letter to the mecha and kaiju genres. So it was no great surprise that many wanted a sequel. But when that sequel turned up, but no matter what your thoughts on Uprising are, it seemed like a franchise killer. So to everyone's great surprise, in November 2018, Netflix announced that an anime series was in the works. Now, somewhat unconventionally, it was already at this stage that Netflix came out and said that Pacific Rim The Black was going to be 2 seasons, to be released 1 year apart. Now already to me, this was surprisingly decisive. It was Netflix saying, we're not going to make 1 season and then see how it goes and then decide whether or not to make a season 2, like what would normally happen. We're making 2 seasons straight off the bat. It was a short, matter-of-fact statement. You're getting 2 seasons. But is that you're getting 2 seasons and then you're done? Or is it you're getting 2 seasons and then we'll see? I, of course, am hoping for the latter. But when you watch Season 2, especially the last episode, it really does feel like the conclusion of the story for Haley and Taylor. So I think it's the end of the road for them. I thought they ended up being pretty good characters in the end. Haley really annoyed me to begin with, and Taylor was okay. But over the course of the 2 seasons, they really endeared themselves to me, especially with the death of their mother. But as much as I like them, I feel that the Pacific Rim franchise could progress without them. You know, we had fun together type thing, but no great loss. And because their personal story is over doesn't mean the whole franchise just grinds to a halt either. We still have Boy, whose story feels as if it's just beginning. As I said in a previous video, I'm pretty sure this is not his final form. He has the potential to grow into the Ender of Worlds. We could jump back and show the time between Apex's creation and what he was doing up until he met the siblings. There could be some interesting stuff there. There's a minuscule chance that it turns out that he's not dead after that thrashing from Boy and that he's just went dormant. There's May and her memories that still haven't been explored, and is she ever going to find her parents? There's the overarching question of what's the state of the world after the events of The Black. Not to mention what John Boyega said at the end of Uprising, that tell the precursors we're coming for them type thing, which is something I've always wanted to see. I wanted to see the PPDC muster everything they've got and build a sort of a spec ops team of Jaegers and take the fight to the antiverse. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. What I want to say is that I think The Black in its current form is done. But the current state of this franchise feels completely unfinished, and it would be an absolute crime to leave it on this note. So I think there's a very good chance that we will get something, whether that be some kind of spin-off in live action, cartoon, or graphic novel form, I don't know. I would rather see something moving image rather than graphic novel though, especially if it goes the way of Pacific Rim and Mara. The graphic novels overall were fine, occasionally quite good, but were just lacking the scope that I would want to see in the next installment. When you compare the production costs of a movie, or a series, or animated series, and a graphic novel though, it could be that the graphic novel is the most realistic option. On top of all of this, we've got the drop in subscribers that's just hit Netflix, which apparently is causing them to slash their anime budgets left, right, and center. Personally, I'm a little bit pissed off at Netflix for this, but you know, maybe that's for another video. But what I'm getting at is that decreases the likelihood of an animated spin-off even further. If I could choose, I would want to see a 10-part live-action series, as I was saying earlier, something along the lines of The Dirty Dozen in Jaegers. But I don't think Legendary is going to commit that kind of cash, do you? Anyway, as of now, the door isn't completely shut, but it's not looking great. But overall, even with the bullshit situation Netflix is in, I can't see Legendary just letting one of their franchises sit and rot. No matter what line of business you're in, it does not make any sense to let one of your assets just dilapidate. So come on, Legendary, don't let us down. Make sure you stay true to the channel because I want to be the first to bring you any Pacific Rim news as soon as it drops. But I've also got loads of other cool stuff coming up on the channel too, whether you like Pacific Rim or not. I've got my 5 best kills series coming up, kicking off with my 5 best Pacific Rim kills. I've got a detailed 2 or 3 part breakdown of Season 2 of The Black, which is taking a bit longer than I thought, and I've also got more matchups videos. I'm going to do Slattern versus Raijin. I might even do a couple where I throw in contenders from outside the Pacific Rim universe. And I'm not going to spoil anything here, but one of them rhymes with Fodzilla. Let me know what you think is in store for the future of Pacific Rim. And until the next one, let me kindly invite you to get out of my head, and I will see you very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and cheerio, bye!